Hello there, my name's Tom Crandall from Gear Mashers, and today we got an awesome product in. This is by Manfrotto. It's the XPRO Ball Head. The model number's BHQ2. They also make a BHQ6. So the difference between the 2 and the 6 is the 2 is a quick release, comes with a quick release plate, and the 6 comes with what's called an Arca-Swiss plate. And the way the Arca-Swiss works is you usually have something that will slide in. So you have your plate that connects to your camera, and then you slide it in, and usually have a tension knob. So you just tighten the tension knob down, and that secures the plate to whatever it's attached to. Now with Manfrotto, they're recognized worldwide as making great camera gear. They make tripods, they make monopods. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted a quick release system that I could attach to my monopod, my tripods, my slider here, and then quickly be able to move the camera if I needed to from one, say a tripod, over to my slider, over to my monopod, and so forth. So the way it works is you have a plate on the bottom, and this is a quick release plate, and this is the 200 PL. And so what it allows you to do is just quickly put the camera in and it connects. So this is on my tripod over here, and then I could quickly move the camera over to my slider and it locks in place. And whoops. And then I could quickly move it over to this one. And so it's super fast. With the Arca-Swiss, what you're having to do every time is you're going to have to unloosen or untighten using the dial and then pull the plate off. So you have to pull it off and then put it back on. So it's a lot slower of a process if you want to quickly jump from one thing to another. The other great thing is if you have multiple cameras. So in this case I have this the Canon G7X, and I have an Sony A7 III. If I use the same plates on the system, then I can easily move the cameras however I want. So maybe I want to shoot with the G7X one time, and then maybe with the Sony, or maybe I want to have two cameras pointing at me. It's just really easy to use. Now with this ball head, getting back into the ball head, it comes with 3 knobs or adjustment points. So the first one here, this is the main adjustment, and so what this does is allow you to move the ball head around. And so if you wanted to, say, do a portrait shot or something like that, so let me just set this up. Hold on here. So I could do a portrait shot like that if I had the ball head situated on a tripod or something like that, or I could do a landscape shot. So that's sort of a nice feature with this particular ball head. The issue I have is the knob here actually goes below the base of the ball head. And so what Manfrotto did is they made it both this one and this lever ratchetable. So what happens is you can pull this out and then move it and then tighten it down. So like on here I have, let me just move this out of the way. I have the ball head situated on my slider, and the base is actually wider than the base of the ball head. So what happens is this bottom lever here hits the base. So by having that ratchet ability, you're able to move the lever so it doesn't hit the bottom of the base and then still tighten it up. On the back side here, you have another lever, and so what this does is it controls the panning. And so if I just loosen this one, you can pan the ball head 360 degrees, which is nice. So if you needed to move it around or whatever, you have that ability. And then lastly, there's a tension knob on here, and so this changes the tension on the ball head. So as you loosen the ball head, so now the ball head's totally loose, I could tighten the tension by going clockwise, and now it's a lot harder to move. And then when I take the tension off, then I can move it around. The ball head itself retails for around $150. It's I think it's probably aluminum, and this one I think is aluminum and magnesium. So the quality is really good, and the red at the bottom here is sort of a nice little accent. Most of the stuff that comes out of Italy is usually pretty awesome. I have a lot of cycling gear. Some of the cycling shoes back here are from Italy, some of the helmets. And so they always just seem to know color palettes and how to match things and make things look really sharp. And so that's why it looks sort of neat over here on the iFootage. And it actually matches the color scheme that I have on there with the red and the red. So that's pretty neat. But anyway, the other thing with Manfrotto is they sell these smaller plates. So one thing that they did is they changed on the ball head here, they changed the quick release system a little bit. They used to have a little brass lever that would lock the quick release in place. And so what would happen is, if you didn't want the quick release to disengage, you could turn this little brass lever, and so that way you couldn't accidentally unengage the quick release. With the new one, they have this little down lever, and so you press it down and that releases it. But once it's locked in place, if you don't press it down, it's going to stay there and it's not going to accidentally release. So for example, I'll just set it up right now and then put my camera in there. And so now it's set there, it's not going to go anywhere. And the only way I can release the camera from here is you have to press down first, and then you can move the quick release lever here out, and then that releases the camera. But it's just such a great system, and it's super fast. So if you're used to maybe cycling and you have clipless pedals, so a lot of the shoes back here, I have these cleats. These are SPD cleats, and so they click in to the cycling pedal. And so the way these particular ones release is you click it out to the side. And then like with ski boots, same thing. You click in and then you can unengage if you need to. But what's great about the way they have these Manfrotto quick releases set up is you're pretty much going to get the same position every time. Because what happens is with, say, these Arca-Swiss, you can move these things back and forth, and so there's no real way to tell exactly where you're setting it every single time. So that's sort of a negative with the Arca-Swiss. The only positive I can really think of with these is if you wanted to do a little bit of micro adjustment, you can actually slide this back and forth along the rail system and then tighten it down. So that would give you a little bit of extra movement for your camera rather than having to pick up, say, your tripod or whatever to move the camera back. You could do a little bit of micro adjustment with the Arca-Swiss plates. But really, I don't see that as being an hindrance to this, and I just love how fast this is. I mean, it's just super fast and it's reliable, and again, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it moving on you. And these things can take up a lot. I believe these are rated for like 22 pounds or something like that, something crazy. You're not going to have a big rig like that for most people out there. So anyway, please subscribe to the YouTube channel down below there. That helps us get products like these in. And also check out gearmashers.com. I have a really great review on this on the website that talks a little bit more in depth on this particular product. And that's about it. So thank you so much and have a great day.